Good morning, students. In continuation of solvents, we will see the properties of good solvents. Okay, most of the solvents are there. Different solvents are there. Aqueous solvent, non-aqueous solvent, different solvents are there. Polar solvent, non-polar solvents, protic solvent, protic solvent. Okay, different solvents are there. Okay, all those solvents will be used in preparation of drugs, preparation of medicines, preparation of so many compounds. Preparation of so many compounds. Here, see the properties of good solvent. Okay, the first property of good solvent is it should be cheap, not expensive. It should be cheap, not expensive. Second important property, it should be non-toxic. It should be non-toxic. Third important property of solvent, okay, it is not reacts with the compound. Reacts with compound. Suppose for example here I am taking solvent. Okay, here I am preparing one drug. We are preparing one drug. The solvent should not react with drug. Not reacts with the drug. If it is reacts with the drug, okay, different compound will form. And the solvent should not react with the container also. Solvent should not react with container also. Should not react with container also. And solvent should have more solvating effect. Solvating property. More solvating property. Should have the more solvating property. And solvent should have the solubility of solute. Easily solubility of and what we call fast solubility of solute. Okay, have the fast solubility of solute. Next, solvent never dissociate and associate. Never dissociate, associate. Okay, in equilibrium or in reaction medium. In reaction medium. And solvent should have the perfect boiling point and perfect melting point. Solvent should have the perfect means fixed melting point and fixed boiling point. And solvent should have the evaporation nature. Evaporating nature. Why? During the crystallization of compounds, solvent should be evaporate from the compound. That's why it should maintain the it should have the evaporation nature. And during the separation of compounds, solvent should have the fixed boiling point. If solvent should have the fixed boiling point, we will separate the solvent from that compound. These are the important properties of solvent. One is it should be cheap, not expensive like water. It should be non-toxic and highly available. And it should be highly available. Highly available. And not reacts with the compound. It should have the solvating property. That means easily mixing with any solute. And fast solubility of solute. If you add any solute to solvent, that should be added within fraction of minutes or fraction of seconds. it takes more time means there is no use of that solvent. That is not considered as a good solvent. Okay, never dissociate or associate. Dissociate means H plus OH minus divided into H plus and OH minus. Okay, associate means H2O molecule combined with each other and form the like that. Never associate, never dissociate. Okay, should maintain the perfect boiling point and melting point. That is only considered as a good solvent. Evaporation nature. During the crystallization it will be used. During the crystallization it will be used. So evaporation property also very important for the solvents. These are the important properties of solvents, good solvents. Okay, next in continuation we will see the non-aqueous solvents. One more important topic here. This is the one more topic in this chapter, non-aqueous solvent. What is the meaning of aqueous solvent? Okay, the solution which have the water as a solvent. The solution which has water as a solvent are called aqueous solvents. Okay, if you use water as a solvent in a reaction, if you use the water as a solvent, such are called aqueous solvents. Okay, if you use alcohol solvent, acid solvent, base, alkaline solvents. Okay, if you use these three compounds, liquid ammonia, liquid hydrogen fluoride, liquid sulfur dioxide. These are also acts as solvents, but these are not having the water. So these solvents we consider as non-aqueous solvents. Non-aqueous solvents. What are the examples for non-aqueous solvents? Liquid ammonia, liquid hydrogen fluoride, liquid sulfur dioxide. These are the examples for the non-aqueous solvents. Okay, in our continuation, we have two compounds in our syllabus. One is liquid ammonia and liquid hydrogen fluoride. Liquid hydrogen fluoride. See the reactions of liquid ammonia. Reactions of liquid ammonia. Liquid ammonia. Liquid ammonia is a good non-aqueous solvent. It is also used as solvent instead of water. That's why we call it non-aqueous solvent. Okay, here we have some important reactions of liquid ammonia. One is precipitation reaction. Precipitation reactions. Second one, acid-base reactions. And here we see what is the neutralization. And reduction. Okay, oxidation. Okay, complex formation reactions. Complex formation reaction. And finally, ammonolysis. Okay, these are the important reactions of liquid ammonia. We'll see okay how these reactions takes place in liquid ammonia, aqueous, non-aqueous medium. We'll see in continuation such reactions. Okay, in that way, first we'll start with here precipitation reaction. First, precipitation. What is the meaning of precipitation? What is the meaning of precipitate? The water insoluble compound is considered as precipitate. The water insoluble compound is considered as precipitate. The reaction which carried out by the formation of precipitate we called as precipitation reaction. The reaction which carried out by the precipitate are called precipitation reaction. We called precipitation reaction. Over here I am taking one precipitation reaction. Silver nitrate AgNO3 reacts with potassium chloride, forms in the presence of aqueous medium, water, in the presence of water we called aqueous medium. We observe this one, aqueous medium. What happened? Silver chloride was formed, white color precipitate was formed. Okay, here white PPT formed along with the potassium nitrate was formed. Potassium nitrate was formed. Over here, this forward reaction observed in aqueous medium. But here same reaction, backward reaction is observed under the liquid ammonia medium, ammonical medium or liquid ammonia medium. What is the backward reaction? AgCl plus KNO3 in the presence of liquid ammonia. This reaction for backward reaction carried out in the presence of liquid ammonia and forms AgNO3 plus KCl. Or one more reaction is the AgCl reacts with barium nitrate. Take 2 moles this one. AgCl reacts with barium nitrate. This is also carried out in presence of liquid ammonia. Okay, what do we get here? 2 moles of AgNO3 plus barium chloride. See, these two reactions are carried out by carried out in the presence of non-aqueous medium, that is liquid ammonia. This is the first reaction, precipitation reaction. Okay, second reaction, acid-base reaction. Acid-base reaction. What is the acid-base reaction? For example, normal acid-base reaction, sodium chloride reacts with sodium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid. This is base, this is acid, forms sodium chloride plus water. How this water was formed here? Sodium hydroxide releases OH minus, HCl releases H plus and forms water. What we call this one? Neutralization. This reaction we call neutralization. Okay, if ammonia reaction takes place, what is the, in place of H plus, what ion is evolved? Okay, what ion is formed? In place of OH minus, what ion is formed? We'll see in continuation. Just like say, when water reacts with H plus, forms H3O plus ion, hydrogen ion. This is also one of the neutralization reaction. We consider it as a neutralization. And here, take 2 moles of ammonia. What happened? It forms, it undergoes self-ionization and forms NH2 minus NH4 plus. These 2 ions are in place of OH minus this one, in place of H plus this one. Backward reaction we call neutralization. Neutralization in the presence of, neutralization in the presence of ammonia. Neutralization in the presence of ammonia sulfate. Ammonia sulfate. Here I am taking for example KNH2 KNH2 reacts with HCl. What happens here? This H reacts with this one. This is base. This is what we call as acid. Both are reacts with each other and forms ammonia and salt. This is also we consider as a neutralization reaction or acid-base reaction. Okay, acid-base reaction. Then in continuation, we will see the reduction, oxidation and complex formation reaction and ammonolysis. Okay, reduction reaction also carried out in presence of liquid ammonia. Okay, metal ammonia, when metal reacts with, any metal, sodium or potassium, any metal reacts with liquid ammonia forms blue color solution. Blue color solution due to the presence of metallic electron in this molecule. What is that reaction? Here I am taking one example. Okay, CuI, cuprous iodide, reacts with ammonia or reacts with sodium in the presence of liquid ammonia. In the presence of liquid ammonia, what happens? We get here sodium iodide and we form the copper. Okay, here oxidation number of copper decreases from +1 to 0. It is we call as reduction. This is also carried out in the presence of liquid ammonia. This is the one of the important reaction, redox reaction. Next in continuation, oxidation reaction. What is the meaning of oxidation? Addition of oxygen, removal of hydrogen, we simply call it as oxidation. Here, in presence of liquid ammonia, KMnO4, KMnO4 you take excess in presence of liquid ammonia. First it converts into K2MnO4. Finally it converts into MnO. This we called oxidation. This oxidation reaction also carried out in the presence of liquid ammonia. This we called potassium permanganate. This we called potassium manganate. This we called manganous oxide. That means, in presence of liquid ammonia, potassium permanganate converts into potassium manganate. Potassium manganate converts into manganous oxide. This is the one important oxidation reaction. Okay, then in continuation we will see the complex formation reaction. First we will see the complex formation in presence of aqueous medium. Complex formation in the presence of aqueous medium. Okay, presence of aqueous medium. Zinc reacts with water. 2 moles of water. What happened? Zinc hydroxide was formed. Or zinc reacts with 2 moles of sodium hydroxide. What do you get? Zinc hydroxide, 2 moles of sodium was formed. Okay, then zinc hydroxide Again reacts with 2 moles of sodium hydroxide along with that molecule. What you will get here? Na2Zn OH4. This we call sodium zinc tetrahydroxy, sodium tetrahydroxy zinc S2. The name of this molecule is tetrahydroxy complex. This is complex tetrahydroxy. Okay, here before that write sodium tetrahydroxy zinc. Okay, here 2 complex. This is the reaction complex formation of the complex in the presence of aqueous medium. In the presence of aqueous medium. Same reaction, what compound is formed in the presence of, okay, here what liquid ammonia medium. Okay, presence of liquid ammonia. See that reaction, presence of liquid ammonia. Same reaction, zinc reacts with, instead of OH here I am taking NaNH2, sodamide. What happens? Zinc NH2 taken twice. Diamine zinc was formed along with the 2 sodium. This diamine zinc reacts with, okay, again 2 moles of NaNH2 forms Na2, okay, zinc NH2 taken 4 times. What is the name of this one? Sodium is common. Instead of OH we have tetraamine, zinc, okay, 2 complex. See, compounds or complexes are same, okay, but here hydroxy complexes. Water is there means hydroxy complexes. Okay, if NH2 group is there means, okay, which complex NH2 group is there means amine complex was formed. Okay, this is about the just complex formation reaction. Okay, last one. Okay, continuation we'll see the last one, ammonalysis. What is the meaning of ammonalysis? Any compound, okay, reacts with ammonia, process is called ammonalysis. Ammonalysis may be process of reaction between compound with ammonia. We called ammonalysis. Okay, here I am taking sodium hydride reacts with ammonia. Sodium hydride reacts with ammonia. What happens here? NaNH2 was formed. This we called ammonalysis reaction. Suppose for example, in organic chemistry I am taking ammonalysis reaction. Okay, RX means alkyl halide reacts with ammonia. It loses HX and forms RNH2. This is also called ammonalysis reaction. For example, you take halobenzene. This is halobenzene. Okay, reacts with ammonia, forms NH2 SHX. This is we called aniline. This is we called amine. These are also reactions. These reactions are also called as ammonalysis reactions. This is about the just chemical reactions in the presence of liquid ammonia. Okay, the chemical reaction which carried out under the liquid ammonia or in the presence of liquid ammonia. Okay, this is about the just liquid ammonia. Tomorrow we'll see the effects of liquid ammonia. Next video we'll see the effect of liquid ammonia, disadvantages of liquid ammonia. After that, one more topic is there, liquid hydrogen fluoride. In continuation, we'll see liquid hydrogen fluoride. Tomorrow, next video, finish this topic.